Okay. We've got quite a few things to unbox here. Hi, welcome. I am legally blind since birth, and I play video games because video games are fun. They should be accessible, right? They should be playable for most people. All people, I think, really. But I just want to say thank you to Sony for sending me this PS5 and abundance of accessories. It was a lot to lift. Before I even unbox this, I just want to. This thing's huge, by the way. It's got the PlayStation symbols, and it says, "Play has no limits." We're working on that. We're getting there. Play has some limits for some folks, many folks, but that's a great mission statement. That's a great goal to work towards for gaming, making it more accessible. All right. Well, we'll get to the PS5 in a moment here. All right. Well, so we're just getting to the first DualSense controller. DualSense is the upgrade from DualShock, essentially PlayStation's traditional controller. For me personally, I've always preferred having my analog sticks diagonal instead of symmetrical. That's just how I've preferred them, but I'm actually very excited about this upgrade. For me, again, if you're wondering how blind people, visually impaired people play video games, less in the eyes, though some of us, of course, being legally blind, I have 10% of sight, and that varies depending on eye fatigue. Sometimes I have to adapt with no sight. So things like text-to-speech, narrations, voice acting, all that can help immerse me into a video game, as well as sound cues that I can memorize and learn, and things like vibration. Haptics are very key. You know, if implemented well, all helps me remain immersed in the game. And so that brings me to this point. This is my first time actually holding this PS5 controller. I'm very excited for the fact that Sony really focused hard on haptics, and I haven't, again, been able to experience it yet, but that's what this first impressions video is going to be all about. It's really testing out that DualSense, and so once we unbox everything, we'll go hook up the gameplay, and we're going to try out, I believe it's called Astro's Playroom. It's sort of like a tech demo, short game, platformer that came with the PS5. This feels great, by the way. Wow, this feels great. I'm not mad about the touchpad. I actually like that it's there. I thought the PS4's was a little awkward, I'm not gonna lie, the way it felt. I don't know. I wasn't crazy about the final product of their touchpad, but the PS5. It's been a long day. I'm actually really, I like the feel of it. The reason why I like it, I know not everyone's a fan of it, but it can help for accessibility inputs. I really helped to ensure I gave feedback on The Last of Us Part 2 and how it implemented zoom, the zoom feature, so that I could zoom into something real quick with the touchpad and also swipe using, it just allows for more input. And when you allow for that, more people can have more accessibility options and quickly access them, right? That's also key. It's good if they're not hidden deep into a menu every time you want to toggle it on. I gotta say, this feels great. Try the Xbox Series S controller recently. That felt really good. I'm a big fan of the Nintendo Switch's Pro controller, but I am not mad about this. This feels great. We'll get to the PS5 real quick. I just want to get this stuff out of the way. We've got I believe this is the HD camera. Does anyone video chat on games? I don't know. Maybe it's used for VR? Perhaps. Yeah, it's got 2 sensors on here, so maybe it is used for VR. I don't know. The PS5 has this, it's really trying to look futuristic. And it's not it's stylistic. It's not a bad design. The design language is coming through. Standard USB. I'm a big fan of USB Type-C these days. Is this USB-C? Yeah, the controller is. That's good. What else we got here? So this is the DualSense charging dock? Yeah, alright, that's cool. I'm assuming the console comes with a controller too, and this was an extra controller, so I should have 2 controllers. That's good. If you haven't watched my Xbox Series S unboxing, I was quite honest with the fact that I kind of fell out of gaming for a few years here. Really, when the Xbox One and PS4 came out, life just kind of happened. I became an adult, just career goals I was kind of working on, and So gaming, I just kind of fell out of a little bit, and the only thing I really did was buy Mario Kart and Smash Brothers and Splatoon on a refurbished Wii U. I didn't get much use out of it other than those 3 games, but yeah, this is the charging dock. Kind of keeping with that style, it's got quite a few like curves to it, plain, I don't know how to describe. It's not like completely flat, things are sort of at an angle. Again, it's a stylistic choice they decided to go with. And I'm not complaining, it's cool, it's fine. Now, I'm curious about these. They sent me a thing, it's called like the Pulse 3D headset. I don't know if there's anything special other than it's a headset, but... So, I am now more excited about this. So 3D Pulse 3D headset works with 3D audio. It works with more stereo 3D audio in the sense where if you're playing like a VR game or if you're playing video games that have noise coming from below or above you, you're gonna hear it. And you're gonna be able to distinct where exactly and pinpoint like how far away noises are coming from. So of course, if developers are taking advantage of 3D audio, that helps me as someone who is unable to see, because then I can better pinpoint where things are. So that's good to know. Yeah, a little bit more excited about this now. It is also just a straight up headset to chat online, and that's cool, that's fine. I tend to avoid voice chat when I'm gaming, with strangers at least. Cardboard packet in here. Okay, so wireless adapter. So it works with a wireless adapter. You also get standard USB or 3.5mm headphone jack. And this is such an interesting, like, again, the design language sort of comes through on the headphones as well. It's interesting. I mean, the build quality feels nice. You got rubber sort of on top. I don't know which one's left and which one's right, to be completely honest with you. And I can't find a way to tell. Let me put them on. And that feels right. I could be wearing these completely wrong. But they feel good, actually. I mean, it's Sony, right? It's Sony. They make really high quality, nice headphones. So I would hope these are, I don't know how much these retail for, but I hope they are good. They feel nice. They feel like pretty great quality. Next gen, they feel next gen. Let's get to the meat. So PlayStation 5, play has no limits. I did hear though that they removed the zoom functionality, which that could possibly limit me. I guess you'll see. I won't, because there's no zoom. Big box. Now this one is the 825 gigabyte version. I believe that's a solid state drive. I hope so. That'd be great. Now these games on next gen are quite massive, so that hard drive could probably fill up pretty quickly. Let's rip off this tape. This tape doesn't quite have like the tab that makes it a little bit more accessible, like the Xbox had. It does have a handle, so that's cool. Close, open like that to some extent. Okay. Ooh, okay. Again, another DualSense controller. Cool. I am very excited about this controller. Power cord. It's important. Instruction manuals. Literally just paper to me. Can't read it. All right. And so this is the stand, I believe. It comes with a stand. So you can like put it either on its side or horizontal or vertical. HDMI, yeah, that's a hex. This is it. This is the PlayStation 5. You're gonna have 2 USBs on the back. That feels like Ethernet, power, and HDMI. A lot of ventilation. Is that a USB-C? Might be a USB-C back here as well. I think that is. Okay, another USB-C, USB standard, your USB-A, and then you got 2 buttons, and that's the CD. All right, so your CD drive, Blu-ray drive, I don't know, what are these using these days? I know possibly Blu-ray. I go digital. I'm not much for physical games these days. This is the PS5. Let's go play it. Okay, so I'm about to go over all the menu settings that I've selected to make this as accessible for me as possible, and then we're going to jump into Astro's Playroom, which is the game that comes installed with the system. Now, I actually already went through this, and for one reason or another, the Elgato did not record. I'm happy to call out the Elgato, because I've had more than enough problems with Elgato. It'd be like that, but hopefully it's recording this time. Let's jump into these settings.
Settings. Network.
Okay.
Button. Accessibility.
So accessibility is going to be the second option down in the settings, underneath user guides and above the network.
Accessibility. Display. Button. Press cross to select.
So there's 5 categories: display, screen reader, controls, or controllers I should say, closed captions, and chat transcriptions. So under display,
invert colors.
Invert. Invert is essentially going to invert the colors, make it negative. If it's brighter, it's going to make it darker. If it's darker, it's going to make it brighter. Essentially opposite day, but for your colors.
Color correction. Invert off.
I'm also going to turn invert off because I'd rather have it dark theme.
Color correction.
So color correction is going to adjust colors to help you kind of see things on screen. Essentially, if you are colorblind or see colors differently, that's okay. Sony's got you covered. So this is really cool. It seems to go fairly in depth here. You can switch it to red/green, green/red, blue/yellow, and grayscale, of course. Grayscale just being kind of like black and white. Or if you want to play with that old 1950s kind of TV in the modern day, let's turn on grayscale. It starts on small for text size, maybe normal actually. Maybe it was normal, I can't remember. Either way, not really a fan of that small or normal. Large is fine, and I'll go with it if it's the only option, but I'm about that very large. Don't take that out of context. Bold text, bold, thin. Bold, thin. I like it bold. Again, please don't take that out of context. High contrast. I do really like this. It helps make text easier to see, imagery, stuff like that. Menus, outlines. Essentially, it darkens the background, kind of helps bring up the opacity of it, while at the same time, kind of brings the menus and the imagery and text into the foreground a bit more. I'm about that. Auto scroll speed, I'm gonna keep that at normal for now. We'll see if I need that. To reduce motion, this is great for people who have motion sickness. I personally see everything in vertigo. I'm so used to everything moving. Even just looking at this menu, looking at the text on here, text size, invert colors, all that, it's shaking for me. I always see everything constantly sort of in this vertigo effect. It's a constant earthquake. That's from a thing called nystagmus that I have. It's part of my ocular conditions, plural, I got multiple. So reduced motion won't do much for me. Everything's always shaking no matter how much you try to reduce it. Screen reader. Of course, this is what I already have on. It's on by default. You can turn it off while you're setting up your PS5 because I know not everyone wants to use a screen reader. Totally okay. Great for us blind folks who don't see where to turn it on, to have it on by default. I set mine to fast too. I may raise that even faster, but for your sanity, I'm gonna keep it at fast too. One thing I would like to say is I wish you could preview how fast and how slow it was in this menu as you're sitting there going through the list, but you have to click it, select it just to basically hear it. Fast 2 though will work for me. And if you're curious what the male voice sounds like,
button. Press cross to select.
There you go.
Female.
Voice type.
Just prefer that one. I hear a male voice in my head. Not really a fan. Hear it too much. Gets old. Volume. I brought mine to like 62 for now. It's fine.
Custom button assignments.
Okay. So this is where you can adjust the button assignments. Essentially, if you want X to be B or circle, circle can be X and vice versa.
Custom button assignments. On. Customize button. Enable off. Switch the left and right analog sticks.
I'm not gonna try that. I'm not gonna do that. I don't want to mess with that. Vibration. Yeah, I like it. And you can turn all that off. All that DualSense, all that haptics. You can turn it off if you want. Totally okay. It doesn't work for everyone. For me, I love it. I'm gonna keep it on. Helps me.
Strong, standard, press and hold delay. Normal.
Again, you can have a delay when you're doing press and hold for buttons. Really cool. I actually messed with my closed caption settings. I made things a little bigger, easier to see, 200%. You can make them smaller if you'd like. You can change the opacity, you can change the edges, and same thing for captions. I'm gonna actually make that 100%. And chat screen. So pretty much what this will do is convert voice chat and make it so if you're in party chats or talking with folks online, it can convert that to text. So great for people who are deaf, hard of hearing, or just prefer having that extra voice to text feature. For me, I don't necessarily need it, so glad it's there, but I'm good without. So let's boot up Astro's Playroom. So we're gonna start a new game because everything I had just done was for nothing. Because it didn't record. That's fun. But this was really cool. I'm gonna try to reiterate the experience, but as things are flying objects, PlayStation 2's, 3, you know, all their consoles and accessories, you feel it. And there's even a microphone and speaker on the controller. You can feel like every little animation, and it's precise too. So like, the haptic isn't just a vibration, right? It's not just everything's vibrating. No, you feel precise vibrations on different parts of your hands depending on where it's happening. So adaptive triggers is what it's trying to introduce to me right now. As I'm pushing down on the trigger buttons here, it's actually shooting like a blast, as if it's like a jetpack or something, or best way to describe it, like an engine. So it's really cool. It's like you can feel the fuel or fire being shot down the controller out to your palm or your wrist. So really neat. Big fan of that. Touchpad. You can sort of it's just kind of drawing on the touchpad, but as you do it, you can feel the vibration from it and little sparkling sound effects, very cosmic-like. The motion sensor and a bunch of little Astro characters just fell into the controller, and now what it's trying to demo is the motion sensor. You can feel them falling and you can hear them, you know, as gravity is pushing them to different parts of the controller as you're moving it through the gyro axis sensor. So really neat. You can shake them, you kind of freak out a little bit. So yeah, that's cool. You can even blow at them into the microphone. You can blow into the mic. It's underneath the joysticks. And you can feel the sound waves. Or I can just speak and, you know, I don't have to blow. But yeah, let's just move on. But like for a tech demo, this is really cool. It's a free packaged game to really get a good sense of what the DualSense controller can really do. We'll say the PS5 is louder than the Xbox Series S. Okay, so one other little kind of critique, nitpick, and I think it's a valid one, about the controller is the X, circle, square, triangle, cross. I know some people say X, cross, whatever. It's not colored. They're all sort of this monotone gray, and I get it. It's supposed to be part of the aesthetic of the whole look and design language of the console, but it doesn't do much for me. As I'm hopping between 3 different systems, sometimes just having that reassurance of knowing, you know, for example, the Xbox controller here, I can see that A is green, even if I can't make out the A. I know what to look for color-wise. So, missed opportunity. I do wish these were colored. That would have been nice. That's all. PlayStation. Visually impaired people play your console too. So, I'm going to go ahead here and use a touchpad to throw Astro out of the controller. Now we're able to... It's really cool though. So like, as I was discovering this for the first time, You can feel every footstep. You can feel the gravity as he's jumping, you know, and falling back to the ground. Every single coin you're collecting, you feel that vibration for continuous reassurance. He can also dance and emote. Carlton dance, why not? It's cute. But you can also, again, feel the dance and everything. So that's really cool. I don't know, I'm a big fan of how they utilize this DualSense. And I think this is, I don't know, this has the potential of becoming my favorite controller because of that. Also, something to note here, even though I'm working on metal right now, as I walk in the glass, not only do you hear the difference, but you can feel the difference. You can feel it's more hollow. It's you can tell that you're walking on glass, right? It's cool. There we go. And then I can heat this up, tug on this little thing here, these wires, and boom. This is the menu for the game, sort of a 3D hub. That's cool. A lot of Easter eggs when it comes to PlayStation history and just computer stuff. Right there, PS1. So this is the CPU plaza. Again, you can feel the difference as you're walking on the glass, as you're walking on the grass as well. It's really cool. I jumped into Cooling Springs first time around. And one of my favorite things here is, so you're standing on top of a frame, a cage of a fan, and you can feel the air being pushed up. I'm very excited for how developers could utilize this, and the splash of water, it's just, again, the attention to detail is great. Enemy over there, and as you walk onto the sand, you know, you know that difference in real life when you do it. So it makes such a difference in games as well. When you go up against a sandstorm over here, you can feel the sands being pushed at you. You can hear it, of course, as well. I will say, like, the PS5 really does have a lot going for blind gamers, visually impaired gamers. Lack of a zoom, though. I will say that's one downside. So I'm jumping on these lily pads now. I'm sure I'm swimming. You can feel the difference. And swipe up to zip up. And you get put into this, I don't know what it's trying to tell me to do here. Oh, okay. So I want to... Alright, so I'm in some kind of suit. And doing like some side scroll platforming here. Okay, and you're using the trigger buttons, the adaptive triggers to... Yeah, okay. I understand what's going on now. This is so cool. I kind of hope Astro gets a full-fledged game, because from what I'm hearing, this is kind of a short title. But I've heard a lot of good things just about the character in general, and ooh, there we go. There's some fun ideas in here too. So this is like using motion, the triggers and haptics to kind of measure the jumps and to also aim. It's again, quite a cool concept. It's a moving platform. Okay. Back down a slide. Sweet. Yeah, he just plays very well. Controls feel snappy. I think that the haptics really are the highlight of this game, though. And the sound also coming from the controller. It's really quite an experience. Ooh, sliding on the ice now. This is... I've never really been crazy about ice levels, but they offer a little bit of a challenge. Oh, just got electrocuted. So this has been my first impression of the PlayStation 5, and I've got to say I'm excited. I know I went a little bit more in depth here than on the Xbox One, and I really want to take some time to explore the Xbox and some highlighted titles that offer some accessibility. But I thought it was important with the PlayStation as a blind gamer to talk about the DualSense and the impact that this can have if developers are utilizing it appropriately and in ways that really do keep you immersed in their titles. Sometimes the most subtle attention to detail that you can incorporate into a game that just makes for good sound design or good haptic design is making a game accessible. And I think that's just important to remember and note. So again, I'm excited for this. My overall thoughts is Zoom needs to come to this thing, and it needs to be better than what PS4 offered. Again, look to Xbox's magnifier or the Nintendo Switch's Zoom as a inspiration. Or best place to really look is iOS. Look at where the iPad and the iPhone really are strong with Zoom. And you have a touchpad, Sony. Make great use of that. That's something that you have over the other two competitors in terms of what you could do with that. Put simply, the potential for this to be the most accessible platform this generation is very well there, the potential. But Sony chose to really focus on the screen reader and on a few display options and the DualSense. And where they focused, strong showing. I'm excited again to see where this will go, and I look forward to hopefully a Zoom coming so that I, as someone with 10% vision, less than that, and when I can use it, can make use of reading on this platform. Just because things are extra large doesn't always do it for me, you know? I have this 4K display monitor really close to my face, but even then, doesn't always do it for me, and not every game is going to support, and not every game does support, or I don't even know if any games can support the screen reader. That may just be for menus, period. And again, great that it's there, but there's still work to be done. But I real quick want to hear from you. Let me know in the comments, do accessibility settings in your games and console help you game at all? You may have a disability, you may not, totally okay. But does it help you get the experience out of the game that you want, whether it's relaxing or it makes it more competitively friendly? Like, for example, the Fortnite feature to visualize things, right? It was initially there for people who are deaf or hard of hearing, or people playing on a mobile device that was mono audio, and it helped provide and put you on a level for those who have stereo audio. I use it as, again, reassurance and another way to tell where sounds are coming from. Just let me know in the comments. Do you use accessibility features, or do you see yourself using accessibility features to enhance your gaming experience? I'm just curious. I hope you could see something different today. Hope you could get a different take on the PlayStation 5 than maybe what you would normally find. And with that, I'll hear you next time. Bye.